Hello, my friends. This is Annie with Annie Superfoods. Welcome. I wanted to talk today about some 15 points or 15 important things that I consider to be important for naturally having good health and enjoying good health. And if you have good health already, to keep having that good health. And if whatever you're doing works for you, keep doing it because obviously it's working for you. But these are some of the things that I've been learning over the years about, and that I apply in my life most days, and that I see that really help me even to strengthen your immune system. I call this my natural immunity against COVID, because now it's so much the pushing for getting vaccines because that's the only way, and blah blah blah. And I don't like vaccines. I don't like medications. I don't like injecting things on my bloodstream. And I think as a person, I have the right to say yes or no to something that is going to go on my body. And so every time that somebody asks me, what about your immunity? What about this? What about that? If you don't take your vaccine, you're not going to be protected, and blah, blah, blah. Well, these 15 things that I'm going to tell you are my vaccine, if you want to call it like that. And I said this before, when we were created in design, or if you believe in evolution, when we evolve, whatever, we were given the things in our body to be strong, to prevent diseases, and also to update. The body updates to new things that are coming in to fight those, like, for example, bacteria or viruses and things like that. So yeah, we're ready. We just got to give them our body the right tools, the right fuel, and the right treatment, honor our bodies and take care of them, so they can actually do the thing that they naturally are meant to do to keep us healthy and strong. And remember, I'm not a clinician or a doctor. I'm just sharing my points of view and these things that I'm just so passionate about that I annoy my family sometimes with, and I'm grateful that my family puts up with me, and they always open to whether listen to whatever I gotta say, or at least not criticize me, because I'm obsessed with learning more about the science of this and the science of that. And I'm always listening to lectures and things like that. My little ones are learning at the same time because they're always listening. And so learning some biology and a little bit of biochemistry and things like that. So anyways, what I wanted to tell you, these 15 things that I do personally. You don't have to do them, and in some cases might sound extreme. What I'm going to do is just mention them today from 1 to 15. If I remember another one, or if I learn of another one, I'll bring it to you and tell you about it. But for now, it's all these 15 things that I could think about. And then on the coming videos, what I'm going to do is explain each one of them a little bit, just to not take too much time in 1 or 2 videos, just to go through all of them, because there's a lot to be said about each one of these things. Okay, so the first thing that I think is important is attitude. I mean, your life, if you have a good attitude towards life, like I heard, life is going to have a good attitude towards you. And what does it mean to have a good attitude? Is, well, you gotta, that doesn't mean that you're going to be smiling all the time and pretending that everything is good. Sometimes we got to pretend, because sometimes pretending a little bit helps you to get in the mood of actually the reality of where you want to be, or what you want to do, or how you want to become. But life is not about pretending or being fake. It's trying your best, and in front of adversities, and in front of things that don't taste very good sometimes in life, and to have a good attitude is just looking beyond that. So, and also not anticipate yourself to bad things that can happen. I read or heard about this, like, don't think, if you want a good outcome of things, don't think about what you don't want to happen. Think about what you want to happen. Think about, if you want to be healthy and strong, think about yourself being healthy and strong. Don't think, oh, but what if when I go hiking, I fall down and I break my leg, for example. What an attitude is that, right? But I know people that are like that. Like, they're thinking about what can go wrong instead of thinking what can go right. So that's attitude. Think about what can go right. And I'm not saying be naive. I'm not saying be careless either. I'm just saying be cheerful about it. Be happy about it. Be grateful for the opportunity to do something about it. to find a purpose, to have good intention, to have meaning on the things that you're doing, because whatever it is, it's not just about your health, but about everything in your life. You got to have an intention. You have to have a purpose and meaning, because that's going to be the source of your motivation as well to keep going no matter what. Your thoughts have a great role on all of this. So watch your thoughts. And then also, like, we can change the world. We can change the world's problems. We can change the government's policies about things. We can make everybody go the right way, because we know that our way is that way, and sometimes they're going that way. All we can do is be an example to them, invite them, and control ourselves. We can't control anybody else. We can't control our surroundings sometimes. Sometimes we can, but sometimes we cannot. And we shouldn't try to control other people, because that will be wrong. But we should control ourselves, and we can actually control ourselves, what we do, what we eat. Most things we can control. We cannot control the weather, right? But we can control our attitude, for example. So that's a start. So attitude. Okay, second thing, and I didn't put these things in order of priority. I just wrote them down, and then maybe when I explain each one of them in other videos, I'll go by which one from the 1st to the 15th, which one is more important first, and so on and so forth. Okay, another thing is, of course, nutrition. Nutrition is basic. It's very, very important, because nutrition has a big role not only on our physical body, but in the way that we feel emotionally, spiritually, energetically, all of that. So nutrition is very, very important. And in my case, I'm an advocate, I guess you can say, or I cheer because if it were for me, the big high fat and low sugar diet, or no sugar at all diet, or nutrition. But maybe for you, it could be other things. There's some people that do mildly well with veganism or vegetarianism, or I don't know, being omnivorous, a little bit of everything. As long as you're eating whole foods, I think that's a big step. Whole foods, natural foods, how God made them, not how men made them. But yeah, that's what I mean when I mean whole foods, how things in their natural state. And but well, for me, it will be the carnivorous nutrition, and it's so awesome for me. Okay, hydration, water. What kind of water you drink, what is in your water, all that is important. Sun exposure and light, that's another extremely important thing. We're going to talk about that, and there's a lot of science that explains why sun is important, especially the sunrise and the sunset. It helps with your what is called the circadian rhythm, and it's very, very, very important. The more I learn about it, the more I'm just figuring out why I love the sun so much. I love the sun. I always did. That's why I'm brown. Well, also because I'm brown because I was born brown, but I'm more brown because I spend a lot of time outside, and it's not like I don't have anything else to do, but I like to take little breaks here and there from whatever I'm doing, because I am very hyperactive, and I don't like to be sitting down for 3-4 hours doing just one thing, because it comes to a point where I can't concentrate on that anymore. And so every hour or 2 hours, I just go for a little quick walk with my weights. Yeah, and come back. And sometimes I just go running to the end of the road and come back. I take my children with me. They go on their bike, so they walk with me, and then we come back. And then, of course, I do my weight training and other things. But throughout the day, take little breaks here and there and go do that, just because it makes me feel better. There is a lot of things going on, not just with the sun and the skin and the vitamin D, but with insulin and with a lot of other things, a lot that I'm going to explain in the video when, the upcoming ones. Then sleep, of course, we all know that sleeping is very important. Training, exercise, like I said before. Then there's the spiritual aspect of our lives. It's very important as well. And we're going to talk about what I mean by spiritual. It might involve religion for many of us. For me, it does. Religion is a very important part of my life. I believe in God, and I'm grateful that God has given us all these means. You might not believe in God. You might believe more on other things. And well, that's the personal thing, and I respect it. And I think we can learn from each other in spite of whatever your your spiritual beliefs are. So that's it. And then connection and relationships and how we get along, and that also affects, we all know, right? That affects how we feel about ourselves and how we feel about others, how we actually look at the world, right? And we need to work on that. So we don't grow bitter in our hearts if we have a bad relationship or more than one bad relationship. And I'm talking about not just relationships like romance or stuff like that. I'm talking about relationship with your neighbor, relationship with co-workers, relationship with your classmates, relationships in general. Just I hope that's called a relationship as well, right? But what connects you to other people, basically. Try to manage that and not have bad feelings about anybody. That's what I'm trying to say. Then chemicals on cleaning products for the house and yourself, like grooming. There's a lot of chemicals on a lot of things that we use. Maybe some ladies like wear makeup or deodorants, perfumes, and shampoos, all those things that people use. I use I use baking soda, coconut oil, not very much anymore, but yeah. So just to stay away from those chemicals as much as you can, because that can be absorbed through your skin and go through different cells in your body, and it's not like it's gonna kill you right away, but if you can find a better or more natural option that goes with who you are and with you, I think there are a lot of organic now makeups and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't use them or anything like that, but I think that there might be. I mean, there's a lot of organic options now for grooming and beauty products and all that kind of stuff. So I should look into that. If somebody knows about it, please let me know, just out of curiosity. A good thing is, instead of perfumes, maybe like conventional perfumes, you can use like some kind of essential oil, mix them with there are ways to make your own perfume with essential oils, or just lemon juice. I love citrus too. So the smell of citrus, that would be a good option. We don't want to be stinky either, right? Or then we're definitely going to have bad relationship with our friends. They're not going to be by our side. Anyways, so chemicals in general, like I'm talking about more than anything, artificial chemicals, right? Fake things made up. And then there's a therapy called thermogenesis, because the exposure to cold water or the cold in general. Then there is sauna. There are different ways or things that we can do, maybe not to have a sauna because many of us could not maybe afford it, but like I'm going to explain in another video what are some of the options that you can do to kind of emulate being in a sauna. Something that I do that maybe some people think I'm nuts, but I don't care. It helps me and it makes me feel good, and I just psychologically feel, I'm doing something good for myself, and it makes me feel good, and yeah, it works. Then there's something called enema, and some people feel a little bit gross about it. Is another natural thing that we can do. We'll talk a little bit about it. I don't want to go into details, but that's another thing that can help clean up the system, the digestive system, or if people that have constipation or things like that, it can help them with that. Another great one that is very important is fasting, and there are different kinds of fasting for spiritual reasons and for physical or health reasons as well. So there's different things that we can do. There's like many varieties of fasting. I'll talk about that. And then another one is grounding, like, walking barefoot on your lawn outside in a place that it doesn't have very many, like, technology, like in a big city. I wouldn't do that with all these connections, 5G and whatever else, because that might actually not be good. Or if there's a thunderstorm, you don't want to go walking outside barefooted because you're grounding and it might not turn out to be good. But I'm talking about, using a little bit of reason and thought. And if you go to the country area, to the mountains, and it's a nice day, just take your shoes off and just walk around a little bit without, prickling your feet or anything like that. And it feels good. Or like, sitting under a tree, hugging a tree, And I'm not a hippie, and no offense to hippies, but I just believe in that connection with nature is for everybody. You don't have to be of any special kind of a lifestyle or belief. You don't have to be a hippie to love trees. I love trees. I love nature, and it's got an important and like very, very important function in our lives. That's why not nature and trees and natural things and animals were created to help us have a good life here on earth. So that's what I believe. And that's why I experienced as well. So eventually we'll talk about each one of these things. If you have any questions, if you have any other ideas about what helps you to keep good health, having a good sense of humor, and having fun, recreational activities, all those things also will be included in this list. So thank you so much for listening. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you all have a good day. Remember to be healthy, remember to be strong, and remember to be the best version of yourself. See you later. Bye.